What is good, YouTube? Today we're back on Movie Monday. Before we get started, I would like to say, if you guys can, please comment down a question on this video, because I am doing a Q&A for my 250 subscriber special, so questions would be highly appreciated. But getting back into the video, today we'll be reviewing, as you can see on your screen, Megamind 2. Alright, and I'm gonna be honest, I do not remember the first one as good. I did watch it just a long time ago. I know it did come out 14 years ago, but I do remember some parts, clips here and there, you know, some storylines here and there. I do not remember it though completely 100%, so just let that be known. And if I remember correctly, I was a huge fan of the first one, or as I remember, I was a huge fan of it. But basically, this movie follows, well, Megamind, obviously. It's called Megamind for a reason. But weirdly enough, it's not like a few months, a few years. It's exactly 2 days after he defeated Titan, which makes no sense because he went from villain to hero. I mean, obviously in 2 days, like, that's what the point of the movie was for the first one. But it's weird. It's like, why not have it be a few months? You know, a year. 14 years of that, you know, just have it like canonically make like 2 days. He discovers or kind of reminisces about an evil group that he used to be with, which he later on obviously has to defeat. And that'll be the premise of this movie. It's kind of simple. This will be a spoiler-free review. Now let's get into the goods, the bads, and the neutrals. Alright, now let's get into the goods, and there are very few ones. So now starting off with villain powers. They're honestly pretty cool. Like, they're nothing too crazy, but I did like how like to use them in the movie. That was very unique. I wouldn't say unique, just I guess cool. And then another thing was Chum. I don't know why. I loved his subplot. Like, I'm not gonna spoil his subplot what it is, but I did enjoy his subplot. You know, it was like a nice little subplot that I enjoyed. But that was all the goods. Now let's get into the bads. Now getting into the bad, which there's a lot of starting off with the visuals. I mean, we can all tell the visuals are a step down from what it was 14 years ago, which is crazy. How do you like decrease the quality from what it was 14 years ago? Yes, I don't think it had the same budget as it, but just still, it was not good at all. Like, some of the animations were stiff. Like sometimes the characters seem like they're like on hinges, you know, like running like on a hinge, you know, like animation looked like perfect 90-degree angles. That was just not it for me. Like, I just don't like the visuals of it. Like, it's just like bad in my opinion. Other bad I had was the cast. Okay. When I knew that the cast of like Will Ferrell wasn't returning, dude, as Megamind, or like any other cast characters, you know, I knew this movie was chopped. Like, I knew it was chalked. I knew that it wasn't gonna be good. Look at Ice Age, the newer one that like came out a few years ago. That movie was so terrible. Why? Because they didn't have any of the returning cast characters, and it just had a bad story. Same thing with this. Like, it was not a good movie because the visuals and the like no returning cast. Like, how you gonna not have Will Ferrell? Like, you cannot replace Will Ferrell for anyone else. Moving on into some weird side characters that weren't necessary. Like, I felt like they were just there for the TV show, which we'll get into later on. Like, these felt weird. Then also break the continuity that Megamind was the only villain in the universe, so he had to create another one to defeat, you know, Metro Man, but then he had to become the hero. Like, that made no sense. So what, he wasn't the only hero at that time then? I mean, that only villain? Like, that made no sense at all. Another thing as well is the runtime. The runtime is an hour and 25 minutes long, which seems too long, which is crazy because this movie feels just like a long episode to a television show. Like, it just felt so long. I don't know why. Like, there was so many subplots and like things that just did not need to be in this movie. And the final small one is that one of the villains is a mime and he talks, and it defeats the purpose of being a mime. Like, yes, he's a French guy, but just make him a French guy. Why is he a mime? It makes no sense. But those were the bads. Now let's get into the neutrals. The only neutral here, I guess, is that it's meant for a TV show. Like, this movie was intended to continue the story into a TV show, which kind of hinders it because like it's not really meant as a standalone movie, but it's more like a handoff to a TV show. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but to me, I wasn't a fan. But it is a neutral because it's all right, I guess. But again, it still doesn't make the movie better or worse. It's just there. But now let's get into the rating. This movie didn't like really feel necessary, especially since some of the stuff that happened in the first movie didn't happen in this one, or was contradicted by this movie. Like, you know, Megamind dating the reporter, or thinking they were gonna date. Again, it happened 2 days after, so they could have discussed it in between days. But I thought they were. Again, I didn't watch anytime recently. But then also the animation just wasn't good at all. It was meh. It was like stiff. And again, I wasn't a fan of the TV thing. How like I was gonna hand off to the TV show, which I think is already out. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. I do not think this is worth your time at all. Honestly, watching it or even like looking at it. Again, I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your time, but to me, in my opinion, this is not worth the watch. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And also comment down below a question for the 250 subscriber special. I will most likely answer it, and it can be any question you want. You know, it could be like a mathematical one about me, anything, whatever you want to have. But have a wonderful day. Bye.